Hello, everyone. Becoming a football agent looks exciting, but no one tells you what it's really actually like. Yeah, we all have this amazing idea of being a football agent that is all rosary, but we are going to be talking about that in details today. After helping players sign contracts and negotiating with clubs, these are 5 things I wish someone told me when I was still starting or before I started. So, I will be talking about what's harder than people think. What I mean by what's harder than people think, how the agency work is a little bit difficult and you have to dig deep. The reality of when you contact clubs, how they respond, why talent isn't enough. Also, it's not just enough to have a player or sign a player. Actually, and what makes players actually trust you. So we're going to be looking at these few points, and if you have a pen and paper, this is another opportunity for you to learn also and get some few information that you can take to help improve your life as an agent or become an elite agent. Okay, as you know, we'll go straight into it. 5 things, as I said, 5 things I wish I knew before. Yeah, I knew before coming into the industry. So, clubs. The first thing I think most people are agents who accept this with me. Clubs don't respond just because you're a licensed agent. So, the first idea that when you have your license and you're almost like, oh my God, now I have my license, I'll just pick my phone and call the sporting director and he will just answer. And the sporting director will just say, yeah. But after you ring one or two numbers, you discover that, hey, okay, they are not picking. So what's this? You ring another number, they are not picking. So you start, maybe you go that week, months, ringing people and you get no replies. And you start thinking, like, oh my God, what is this? So many people have been there in that situation. So I totally understand how you feel because as this I'm talking to most of the agents who just got their license, you'll be facing this now also because before getting your license, you just thought, I'm just going to ring people and then it's going to be easy. Okay, but this is one. How do you solve this? Okay, if you ring a sporting director, let me say, if you ring a sporting director or and the sporting director don't pick, try to ring the head of recruitment. If he doesn't pick, look at the scout. If the scout doesn't pick, try to contact someone from the club. Try anyway. But the best thing, even trying all this, it's provide value. I always say provide value because take yourself as an example. Two people sitting in the house and one person tells you, I have to offer you this. I'll offer you this for, let me say, if I'll offer you something for a reward of something. Or let me give a clear example. If two people are sitting in a room and someone tells you that he's having a laptop and he would like you and him to trade to do business, and then someone who is there, you have no idea about another person, you have no idea about him, and telling you, well, we can do business, and if things work out, maybe I may figure out how I get a laptop and we do that business with it, say the laptop or blah blah blah. But I'm just trying to create a scenario here. You're never going to go to a place where you don't which are not unknown place. These are sporting directors are because they're also human beings. They have their contacts, and for you to break into their contacts, you have to do something special. So provide value. What can be the value you provide? You might go watch their games and then start talking about, then learn the tactics very well, and start talking tactics with him. Then he sees, this person can be of value to us. So thereby you start getting connection. That's the first way. Okay. So remember this, that you have to provide value. It might be any kind of value you might provide, because I have one thing before starting also. One thing I learned also is that when I provide value, one thing I learned is that when you provide value, you always get chances. So I used to do Instagram. I do Instagram, so I can contact a club through the social media department and come. Then from there, I start talking to the sporting director. Let me say I can have a meeting with the social media department, and from there I say, oh, uh, is the sporting director around? I'd just like to see and have a few words with him. And you say, yeah, I can hear, because he will be like his friend, for example. They're always connected. You say, okay, let me ring him. And just the fact that he rings the sporting director and telling him that I have a friend I would like to see you, he will trust that process. He will trust to just send me there, and he will treat me more respectfully because I'm originally one of the persons. And how do I get in that contact? Because how do I get in contact? I've already built a social media that I have about 100K followers. So they also are looking at me in behind their back and say, okay, well, if this guy, he can do marketing for us. In a way, you understand what I mean? So you have to always have something that people say, I might need that from him. So first and foremost, learn to provide value. Okay. The next thing also that I also learned is players don't trust you until you show up. So how are players? So let's take for example, this is the fact. If you have two agents, yeah, and one agent is one that has a record of he has been selling players, and one agent is has a record that is a beginner agent, most players will always go to the one who has been selling players. Why? Because they trust the record of that player. They trust the record. So you, the only way you can gain, the only way you can get access or gain advantage from that is you have to do a lot of hard work. So you have to constantly talk with the parents and do show your value. Go, let me say, when he has the video, highlight videos, if you can even edit it yourself, just edit the highlight video of the player and say, and try to put it to clubs. You have to do more because the other people are already a step ahead of you because they have been doing transfers. So any normal person would trust someone more experienced than you. So for you to get into that place, you have to show up in the parents' house, communicate with the parents, maybe edit you can always say, okay, do you have a highlight video? Let me see. Okay, I think this highlight video might not be good, but let's try to adjust it. You go adjust the video and say, this might look better. Let's try to put this. So you show more, you do more. And when you get yourself, when you get trusted by players, then you can start limiting your situation. You can start limiting things you have to do. But the idea is you are, in the beginning, you have to do more. That is your own way of value you're also providing. So it's very important. Okay, and the next thing that no one ever told me also is that I learned also is scouting is your superpower. You see, this is what I did. I myself I do this. Let's take for example, recently I scouted to one player in particular from just watching another 14 games, and I saw him score a hat trick. I went to a nearby city called Nurmes to scout him. I mean, to watch him. He scored a hat trick in that game. So the thing is, scouting locally at you don't get to fight with any other agent like a George Mendes or which other person, because when you're scouting, that's your superpower. When you're scouting people who have not made it ready, they are trying to because they don't have agents, they'll give you the chance. So there it gives you more confidence because when you go and scout a hidden gem, they call it hidden gem, and bring it into bring it into light, talking to clubs, professional clubs, and trying by all ways for those players to get trials. When those players get trials, because one get trials and it's inside the system, the more they believe you that okay, when you bring another player, they can accept you. So go for this hidden gem play where the superior, let me say the George Mendes, the big agents won't be going. So go to these small villages or local places, amateur clubs even, scout these players that are talented, but they have not been picked by the professional clubs, and then polish them, talk to them, advise them, talk to them about how you can shape their careers, and then try also to compile their clips and try to show them to these top clubs. As long as they are talented, they'll offer them trials, and once they get into the door, that's the beginning of your journey, just going like that. So you also as the beginning agent, you have a chance that way. So that's the next thing. And the last thing I'll be talking about is deals take time, not days. So you might have a player and show to a club, and that club says, okay, that player will come for trials. That player comes to for trials and make 2 months, 3 months, because clubs these days they see players on their own terms. So you have to also be patient with everything. Don't try to be too harsh and say, oh, why is the trials taking time? Be patient and trust the process, because you're at the beginning of a journey. You have to learn a lot, network, learn and do everything. For this thing you're doing now is actually you're actually building up yourself, that within a twinkle of an eye it will go like this. As long as I said, remember, when one player goes into the system, the next one goes in. That club trusts you already because they see you are bringing good product. They will start telling you, do you have a right back? Do you have a midfielder? Do you have a this? And before you want to see yourself, you are like caught with 10 players inside a club already. So it goes so fast, but you have to do the groundwork. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys today, and it will be great to talk about this more, but I will leave it here so that you can digest this, and then I'll come back tomorrow for the next one. Okay, hopefully you had something to learn from this video today. Talk to you, and yeah, see you tomorrow. Take care. One spirit. Ciao.